On the Medical Watch, just being around a smoker can be deadly. Beth Chapman, wife of Dog the Bounty Hunter, battled throat cancer and died at age 51. Throat cancer has 3 known causes: smoking, drinking alcohol, and HPV, infection with a human papillomavirus, a sexually transmitted illness. While we don't know the cause of Beth Chapman's disease, in a documentary she expressed concern that her husband smoked too much. Dr. Kirsten Stenson from Rush University Medical Center says throat and mouth cancers are on the rise, mainly due to HPV. But smoking is a real danger, whether first or second hand.
Number one, it's just plain carcinogenic, which means that it makes the cells so abnormal they can't repair themselves. The other thing is a chronic irritant, and that's one of the main sort of underlying factors of any sort of bad process in your body is chronic inflammation. Our cure rates are a little bit better than they were historically. Certainly our ability to preserve function and voice is better. Unfortunately, the biology of different tumors, it's beyond what our standard treatment can give. If you've had one chemotherapy plus radiation, that set of treatment is unlikely to work again for a recurrent cancer. You have to give immunotherapy. You have to give a totally different, get a totally different approach.
That was the case for Beth Chapman. She thought she beat the disease and it came roaring back. Early diagnosis is the key to survival. If you have any throat irritation or pain, voice issues, or lumps in the throat or tongue, or ear pain, seek medical attention immediately.
Not only has Beth Chapman's cancer returned, it has spread, and the reality star is still waiting to learn just how bad it is. According to our sources, Chapman recently underwent tests to determine just how far her throat cancer spread. The wife of Dwayne "Dog" Chapman recently underwent emergency throat surgery after doctors discovered a large blockage in her throat. We're told Chapman is back at her home in Colorado and is expected to learn what her treatment options are after test results come back in the next 2 days. Beth Chapman originally underwent surgery in September 2017 to remove a plum-sized tumor from her neck. She had previously said she was diagnosed with stage 2 throat cancer. 2 months later, Dog revealed that Beth was cancer-free. Not long after this recent surgery, Dog went out to dinner and said Beth was not doing good. Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife, Beth Chapman, rushed into emergency surgery for life-threatening throat blockage after doctors discovered a large blockage in her throat. Beth Chapman is in a life-or-death situation as she's currently being rushed into an emergency surgery after doctors discovered a large blockage in her throat that had developed overnight. Chapman was seen out to dinner at Craig's in West Hollywood on Monday night with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and appeared to be in great spirits. The photogs were even telling the reality star how great she looked as she spoke on Tekashi 6ix9ine's recent legal troubles. Chapman has actually been in LA because she has felt sick for the past few weeks, and came in to see a specialist. The star underwent surgery last year to remove a plum-sized cancerous tumor from her neck, and afterwards had been deemed to be cancer-free. Sources close to the couple tell The Blast that overnight Chapman developed a life-threatening blockage in her throat, and she was immediately rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on Tuesday morning.
It's a hard fight. She fought hard.
Dwayne "Doug" Chapman is opening up about the loss of his wife, Beth Chapman.
It's just incredible when you walk alone in the bedroom and you're there, and she was just there 2 days ago.
Beth died on Wednesday at the age of 51 after a battle with cancer. Following her death, Dwayne spoke to Hawaii News Now about her final moments.
One of the last things she said, "This is a test of my faith." And she had faith, and then that was it. She goes, there's things you go through when you're dying, like steps, like you do when you lose someone, right? You get mad at them, and then you go through all these steps. Well, the last step when you're dying is to accept it. And she said to me the other day, "Honey, that last step I ain't taken."
E.T. learned Beth was surrounded by her family, including the couple's children, when she passed. Here's what Dwayne said about that moment.
When she had an attack, I didn't know anything to do but say in Jesus' name and hold her. And when I said in Jesus' name, she said, "Say it again, say it more." And then she, told the girls and everybody with her mouth and stuff. She came out of it a couple times, and "I love you. Are you guys all okay? Don't worry," but she never accepted it. So amazing. This is totally unbelievable.
Dwayne described the minutes leading up to and since Beth's death as, quote, terrible. And he said that despite her long fight with cancer, the timing of her passing was unexpected.
For a few years, knew that someday this day would come. It came very unexpected, really fast. And we didn't even, all of her clothes are exactly where they were, her makeup, everything we didn't prepare.
The 66-year-old reality star also spoke about how his faith is helping him to deal with the loss of his wife.
I hope to God there's a God. I have tried to be a godly, I always have trained myself, what would Jesus do? And I hope I'm not just talking to myself. I hope there is a God, and if there is, I'm going to see my honey again. And that's all we can do, is hope.
Dwayne said he believes Beth is still with him.
I loved her so much. As Lazarus lay, Jesus said, he's not dead, he sleepeth. My final words are, Beth isn't dead, she sleepeth.
The family had been open about Beth's health struggles over the last few years. In November 2017, they told fans that her cancer had been completely removed, only for it to return in 2018. Beth underwent emergency surgery last November to remove a mass in her throat and began chemotherapy the next month, but was hospitalized again in April. Beth was, however, able to film episodes of her and Dwayne's new WGN America series, Dogs Most Wanted.
My wife, the love of my life, is fighting for her life.
That is sure to be an emotional season.
And they thought I had lost my mind because I said, I'm not doing chemo, I'm not doing radiation. And they said, why not? And I said, well, chemotherapy is poison. And I said, you and I were both taught that chemotherapy causes cancer. I said, every doctor knows that. The patients don't know that. The patients are all surprised when I say chemotherapy causes cancer. And they'd say, my doctor wouldn't give me something that causes cancer when I already have cancer. And I say, yes, they would, because they don't know what else to do.
I told the doctor, she dies, you die. I said, I don't mean to be like that. And I don't mean to threaten you because I'm a good person. But Doc, if she dies, you die.